The second step of predictable chart writing is to reread the chart, talk about it, and analyze it for a few carefully selected text elements. The primary goal of this step is to help students focus on specific aspects of the text. Depending on a student's abilities, the goals of this step may be different. For students who are emergent readers and writers, the focus may be on print awareness. This includes teaching students that print carries meaning and developing concepts of sentences and words and letters. Conventional readers and writers will have repeated practice reading high-frequency words in the context of real sentences. And students who do not yet recognize letters and words will have repeated opportunities to start developing those understandings in the context of meaningful, print-based interactions. Start this important step by rereading the chart while emphasizing the repetition of the sentence frame and modeling what a fluent reading of the text sounds like. Next, read the chart again while encouraging the students to read along. Many teachers have found that their students are more engaged if they clap, chant, or rap the words while reading, while other students use single-message voice output devices to read the repeated frame. While reading as a group, you can allow students to be the pointer. Using a classroom pointer, a marker, or a headlight pointer, students can take turns leading the class in the reading. After rereading the entire chart, talk as a group about each sentence. You might talk about why students made the choices they did. Once you've read the chart a couple of times, you are ready to analyze the chart for key elements. This is done by introducing the elements of the text that you want students to focus on. For example, you might ask students to find some specific words, or you might ask them to find any words in the chart that include the letter R. Students would then work together to examine each word and identify the words that include an R. For students who are unable to talk or point, try using partner-assisted scanning. This is done by having the adult slowly point to each word in the sentence. The student then tells the adult to stop using a gesture, vocalization, switch, or any other means when the adult is pointing to a word that includes the letter R. During step 3, students work with sentence strips. For this step, the adults create 2 sentence strips for each student with their individual sentence. Give the student one of his or her sentence strips while you keep the other. Ask the student to read the sentence, providing support as needed. Then, ask the student to cut his or her sentence into individual words. If you have students who are unable to cut the sentence independently, you can run your finger across the sentence strip and have the student indicate using a gesture, vocalization, or switch where they would like you to stop and cut. Avoid drawing lines, making darts, or otherwise cueing students regarding where they should cut. The whole point of cutting the sentence into individual words is to help students develop an understanding of concept of word and begin to recognize the place where one word ends and another begins. Keep tape handy for this step. Students may cut in the middle of words, so when you compare your sentence strip to the student strip, you can talk about the spaces in between the words. You might have to tape the student strip back together and ask them to cut the sentence into individual words again. It may take several attempts to get it right, but don't get frustrated. Give the students the time they need to figure it out by doing it. After the sentence is cut into individual words, ask the students to arrange their words to recreate their sentence. Once they have finished, read the words in the order the student arranged them. In this example, Anna has arranged the words to say, chocolate like I. Ask Anna, does that sound right? Then, read the sentence as it should appear, and reread the words in the order the student created. Ask the student to try again. Repeat the process of reading what the student has created and asking students if it sounds right. After the second effort, compare the student's effort with the model sentence visually. Ask the student, does your sentence look like mine? Help the student compare and contrast the words in his or her sentence with the words in the appropriate order on the sentence strip. After comparing and contrasting, remove the visual model and ask the student to try again. It's important that you remove the visual model so it doesn't become a simple copying task. Keep trying and use each effort as a chance to give the student feedback and provide important experience attending to words and word order. The fourth step of predictable chart writing is to play a game called Be the Sentence. During this activity, you will write the words from each sentence on a full-size sheet of paper. It is only necessary to write the words from the sentence frame once. Make sure to print each word with a large, thick marker in a font that is large enough for students to see from the front of the class. Pass out the words from a single sentence and have the students with words come to the front of the room to construct the sentence. Encourage the students in the audience to guide the other students as they rearrange themselves to create the sentence. Each time the group indicates that the sentence is ready, read the sentence the way the group arranged it. Compare their sentence to the actual sentence on the chart, and work to get students to recognize the left to right orientation and specific order of the words while emphasizing what sounds right and makes sense. For students who are blind, all of the words used in the game should include Braille. For students who use augmentative and alternative communication, you can use a single message switch to produce the word that he or she is using during the game. When working with students who have their own device, make sure the words from the sentence are on the device and you know where those words are located. This is an important step when making the book because it provides students the opportunity to show ownership and make their own connection to the writing. For example, your image of friendship may not match the image that a student has in mind. Next, help students glue the words from their sentence strips onto the page, or write the sentence or type it to add to the page. You might also work with the students to make the book using TarHeelReader.org or other computer or internet-based bookmaking tools. Step 5 is a really important component of predictable chart writing because it results in a permanent record of student work. Often written work is on a chart, computer, or whiteboard where it doesn't get saved. Having a book provides an artifact that students can return to over and over again. These books have additional meaning to students because they reflect individual students and the class as a whole. Frequently, predictable chart writing books become a classroom favorite. Let's briefly review the 5 steps of predictable chart writing. In step 1, the teacher and students work together to compose the chart with each student contributing at least one idea. In step 2, the class practices reading the chart and looking for specific elements. In step 3, students are given a sentence strip with their contribution printed on it. First, they cut the sentence into individual words, and then they reassemble the words into the complete sentence. In step 4, students collaborate to create sentences during a game called Be the Sentence. And in step 5, the class creates a book using the sentences from the chart. Many teachers use predictable chart writing as a part of their approach to daily, comprehensive English language arts instruction. It is a fairly easy-to-plan approach that addresses a variety of important skills and understandings at various levels. For more information about the Dynamic Learning Maps Alternate Assessment System, please visit dynamiclearningmaps.org. Thank you.